let me introduce myself. The presentation has loaded. I'm Gian Paolo. I'm one of the developers behind Colaboard, and I'm also a Microsoft MVP on the more personal computing, emerging experience field. What I want to show you today, what I want to tell you today is the story, how we reach to develop Colaboard and the concept that there is behind Colaboard. Everything starts quite a few time ago, and it was around 2000 when I came up to the Microsoft research site, and I came up to a scientist, Dr. Andy Wilson, that actually is a friend, and he was working on a prototype called Touchlight. This was the beginning of the natural user interface era. He is the scientist behind the multi-touch, multi-user device, all the multi-touch, multi-user device that you see today. This was an early prototype with a rear projection working vertical. Then this copyright somehow was sold, and Microsoft started working on what then years later, has become to life as Surface. There was some prototype, there was some years where this was developed, and then we came up in 2008 when we have the first tabletop, horizontal, multi-user device. And the concept behind this was, yes, collaboration, but not at a business level, but more like a game, a concierge for families. And yes, this was one of the coolest devices I ever experienced. What's happened after that was that the product was released, but somehow it was something that relies on the United States. It was really expensive. So in this part of the Europe, we started thinking and developing our application as a rear projection display, like you saw the Touchlight. And this is an example that we made in 2009. This is a full-stack Microsoft technology, but built from scratch. At that time, there was anything, basically. And this is an application that was running on a shop window where people can search for renting house or buying house. They was touching just the glass of the window. All was inside. All the touch technology, all the projection was inside. So this is a way that shops can be open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And this was 2009. In 2012, I was awarded for the first time as Microsoft MVP. At that time, the category was hardware interaction design and development. But now, today, has become more personal computing. And why I want to point to this, to the Microsoft Award and to the Microsoft MVP program? Because I strongly believe this is important also for you, like a customer. But I really don't like this word, customer, because for me, the people I'm working on, they are partners. We are working together to rise the business, to make your business successful. And what we can do as MVP is to have a middle and short-term vision of what is going to happen that others in the world doesn't have, because we have tight connection with Microsoft in Redmond, directly in the headquarters. We have access to NDA information that we cannot show, but we can drive you in the right way where the technology, where your business is going. And that's why I strongly believe that it's important in a software house to have MVP, and I want as much as I can hire. Then it comes 2012. And it was the time of the Surface version 2. This was a partnership, a collaboration between Samsung and Microsoft. But somehow, it was the time of Windows 8. But somehow something, I believe this is my personal opinion, something went wrong between the two, because at the Windows 8 launch event in Los Angeles, Samsung announced that he won't support ARM devices, so running Windows on ARM devices, that it was the huge concept that then leads to Windows 10. So this project gets some dark, a little dark age. But as an MPC developers, we was waiting for a new hardware, for a new device that we can develop on. Oops. This is now start inking with my hand, and I believe I can close it and open it again. So this is not Colaboard. Luckily, it's PowerPoint that crashes somehow. Okay, but in a moment, we are at the point where we was. Okay, so it was the Surface 2 times, and then what's happened was that Microsoft acquires a technology, a company called Perspective Pixel, just because the hardware made with Samsung wasn't really good. And this product was acquired by the Office Group. And this is a picture of the first Colaboard concept in 2013 running a Surface Hub prototype. You can see here the Microsoft logo. But this is just a Perceptive Pixel branded with the Microsoft logo. And I was showcasing the Colaboard concept at Microsoft in Redmond at the MVP Summit on 2013. Starting from there, a lot of things changed. Windows 10 comes, and with Windows 10 we have the era of more personal computing, where new way of interacting with computer comes out. The first one is our beloved Surface Hub. On January 21st, 2015, it was presented alongside with the HoloLens. And this was the revolution, because this was the signal Microsoft is giving out. We are focusing on more personal computing, on how people, new ways on how people will interact with computer, starting from now, in the next 3-5 years. And on 2016, today, we have our first application. We have Colaboard on public release. And then the HoloLens came, and with the HoloLens, the concept of more personal computing, of interacting with the human, how human interact with computer, totally changed. And this technology will change the way we are going to interact with computer. As you can see, this is just a glass where it can augment somehow your reality. Now, to talk about HoloLens, we have to talk about the context on where HoloLens is on. And this is the virtual reality, what on a big shape we can call virtual reality. We have augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. So, let's talk about virtual reality. What is it? Virtual reality is a full, immersive, inclusive. As you can see, the guy doesn't see anything of his real environment. He just sees a reproducer, an artificial environment reproduced. And this technology is quite old. It comes from the 18 years. But why now is going to get more and more important? Because now we have computer, we have machine that can reproduce a virtual environment in a way that our sense can be somehow cheated so they can understand that it's real. If I move my head in a virtual environment and the virtual environment is moving accordingly to my sense, I can even think that this environment should be real. And that's why now virtual reality is going to be a very good immersive technology. Then we have augmented reality. Augmented reality, it's also something that comes from the past. If you think, for example, of Air Forces, the helmet they are augmenting their visual with another layer that you can have information. And this is also good. What is the difference between this and virtual reality? This needs, as the virtual reality, it needs a device. So you are tethered, what means that you are connected somehow with this environment. Augmented reality, this is very nice. It's an example of a Navi running on your glasses, so you cannot be distracted while driving. And virtual reality is immersive, but it gives you the sense of an environment. This is just augmenting your environment, but the information displayed are just information. It can be a message or anything else, not a reproducing environment. And then we have the mixed reality. The mixed reality, as the word said, is capable of mix your real environment with artificial environment. And thanks to the Hololens, what is possible to do is that the Hololens understands your environment and can place objects on your environments. What does this mean? This means that I can take a virtual computer, a virtual object, and I can place on a chair. I can pin something on my wall because the HoloLens understand my space, my environment. Now, if it will be possible to place on a scale this kind of reality, we will have on a side the standard environment, and in the other side the virtual reality that is a fully immersive reality, where you are not aware anymore about your environment. In the middle, you have what I believe will change the way we are going to interact with the computers, the mixed reality, because I can take something from Collabord, and this is where we want to go. You saw with Giorgio's presentation that 3D object, but it's a flat 3D object. I cannot really feel, I cannot really sense the difference. What we are going to do with Collabord is to take an object from your flat screen and put it in your real environment so that then you can go around and look at it and interact with it in real time, hopefully. Oops. Where we are. So, something about the hardware. The most important part. Okay, an important thing is that augmented reality and virtual reality, as I said, they are tethered. You need something else, cables, in case of virtual reality, connected to a powerful PC or phones or any other device connected via Bluetooth for the augmented reality. HoloLens is a fully untethered Windows device running Windows Holographic. So this is the big difference. I can take my HoloLens, I can go around, and this is a Windows 10 computer in my hand, in my pocket. The most important part of HoloLens is the holographic processor. The holographic processor is that chip that is very expensive, that enables the spatial mapping. The spatial mapping as concept, as algorithm, is something that is not really new. It's something well known in some ambient, but it generates a lot, terabyte of data. And the HoloLens, to process this data, to understand your environment, imagine that here you have some cameras, deep cameras, IR cameras, and they are getting this information and they are processed in real time, thanks to the HPU, so that HoloLens understand your environment. And you can interact and you can place objects in your real life. Who has already heard about HoloLens? I'm quite sure has heard about the field of view issues. But again, this is a Windows 10 device, so the concept now with Windows 10 is that we don't have to care about devices, because devices is something that can change. Today is a projection on a layer, but tomorrow it can be a retina projection. Is the concept the important part? Now we have Windows Holographic. Windows Holographic is mixed reality. Now the hologram you can feel it thinner, little, but imagine that this is a almost prototype device. What comes tomorrow is not said. No one knows. I expect in retina direct projection, so you won't have any field of view. You will see your hologram even if in your site on the right. How to interact with HoloLens? You can interact with HoloLens with voice. Before you saw Michael interacting with Collabord, with his voice. The same voice we are using in Collabord is the algorithm, is Cortana, basically, that HoloLens and any Windows 10 device is using. Now, depending on the region, Cortana is going to recognize you. And HoloLens is supposed to be shipped only in the US. And a nice fact that I can say you is that if you ask HoloLens, if you ask Cortana running on HoloLens to shut down, she will answer, do you wanna shut down? Just in American. So, again, how to interact. Air tap. This gesture is understood by HoloLens, like what you can imagine a click on your mouse and desktop environment. So if I want to interact with an object and there is a button or with my 3D model, I can just air tap and maybe drag and drop and I can move it. Then there is the gaze. Okay, this is the click, but where is the pointer? The pointer is our head. Gaze for HoloLens is intended the movement of the hand, not the movement of the eyes, but the movement of the head. And then we have voice commands that can be something custom made for the application or system voice command. As I already told you, hey Cortana, shut down. This is a system command. And developers, here it is. It is basically the same Cortana. And what is nice, that when I ask Cortana to shut down, on a HoloLens, it's shut down. On my PC, it says I cannot shut down. And luckily, that is not going to shut down the PC while working. So again, spatial mapping make the pairs with occlusion. What does this mean? For an hologram, for being real, I need that. Okay, HoloLens recognize my environment, but then if I place an hologram over the chair and I move myself on the other side where there is the back of the chair, thanks to occlusion, I have to see just a part of it or it have to be hidden so that the experience is like the object will be real. Spatial sound is another unique feature of HoloLens. And thanks to the speaker HoloLens is mounting, you can hear sound like coming from your back, like coming from your forward, near, so that your experience is also even more augmented. And now I will invite Michael on stage to check out the demo. Yeah, just revert this. Thank you. I will do it. So now you will see, you will experience the Hololens in real time. And you will see on this device what Michael is going to see through the Hololens. And here we go. So we was talking about holograms and to place them on our environment. And this is just what Michael is doing. As you can see on the monitor, he is placing an holographic dog in our environment. And if you want, you can place something on the chair, for example, because they basically understand our environment. And so, yes, this is some cases that this is you can imagine this as part of our vision. HoloLens is good, but how to enhance, how to improve it? We need the device to be connected to other devices to share the same environment. So imagine if I can share, and this is not a cat, but this is a 3D model of a bike, because we are working in a bike factory, and we are working on that project, and we can share ideas. So Michael, thanks to Collaboard running on HoloLens here in Zurich, and our colleagues in San Francisco, in real time, sharing the same holograms, the same environment, working together. This is where our vision on long terms, where we are going. But let's say HoloLens is more than this. There are many use cases where you can use HoloLens. For example, thank you, Michael, for working with this object. Now, please start Galaxy Explorer. So another way that we can use HoloLens is, for example, for teaching or exploring. Okay, what does it mean, really exploring? Yes, at the university, I studied astronomy and this kind of stuff, but I never realized how distant, how far away was planet, because when you see distance with multiple of 10 elevated to e, it's something that you cannot imagine. You can do it with HoloLens, for example. And this is Galaxy Explorer, where Michael now is setting it up. After that, we can reproduce our solar system in this room, just up your head. Right. Here we go. And this is the solar system. No, this is more. This is all the galaxy. All our galaxy. And now Michael is going, so you can already feel the distances that we are. And this is the solar system. And of course, in the middle we have the sun. And then we can also go explore planet. Yes, our house, our home. Exactly. This is what you can do with HoloLens. Then I hope as much as of you can experience in first person by yourself. Thank you, Michael. You can now close it. And yes, afterwards in the demo area, you can experience it. If there won't be time for you, just give us your number and you are invited to our office to check it out. So, our vision for the future. For the future of Collaboard, what we see is to give the maximum compatibility to any kind of file, starting to Office, so that then you can co-author documents through Collaboard. And that means that really me and Ale from our house can work together on the same document, sharing it maximum compatibility with documents, improved real time, improved ink. You have seen now for inking, you have to save. We are dealing with some problem. We are going to improve it. Because of this, we need early adopters. We need you that help us and us to help you improve your business. We want to make a tight partnership in that case to help you. And if you saw something on Collaboard that I believe is really important, I'm going to start a new project just to show you. Okay? So, okay. It's the search. Okay, now I am not able to show it to you right there. In the search, you saw the maps, right? But the maps is just a provider. Our vision is to extend it to standard providers like videos on YouTube, on Vimeo, like social media, or your own business storage. That can be your ERP, your customer, your leads, your statistics, your Office 365, your resources, so that you don't have to leave the application to work on this kind of object. And basically, that's it at the moment. I want to thank you for your time, and I will invite after our CEO presentation to the demo desk where we can experience the Surface Hub and the HoloLens. Thank you.